live from Miami, Human Inc. It's Mike Severino.
And George Munoz.
George Munoz. What's going on, man? How's your week going?
Chill, Bill.
Nice. For those of you who don't know, George has been a personal friend for the past few years in my life. Also, we've been co-workers. George is an amazing person, man. I wanted to invite him on the show and kind of have him add his personality and flair. But George, let's talk about, dude, we have a podcast. What the heck? This is crazy. I don't even really know what I'm doing, but I think the most important part, especially for those of you entrepreneurs out there, is, even if you don't know what you're doing, is actually putting forth the effort and actually getting stuff done. Look, I just got a text message on this podcast. It's probably going to come back on there, whatever, but we're actually doing it. And I think through trial and error, that's how you become great at anything in life.
Absolutely, man. And I guess we just have to be consistent here and just bring the best of the best for you guys. Because, again, we're going to grow with you at the same time with this new journey that Michael and I have here with Human Inc.
Oh yeah, I like the name. What do you think about the intro to the podcast, George?
It's booming.
It's pretty
dope.
It's pretty aggressive. I like it. It's like here we are, and I kind of wanted something loud and bold, and that's the way I live my life, and I'm just excited to come together with friends and talk about the mindset and the process that goes into becoming great. And I think a lot of people forget the becoming part. Yeah. They just see like the results, and they want, people generally gravitate towards the end result of whatever it is. It's like, oh, I want to be this professionally, or, oh, I want a lot of money, or, oh, I want this thing. And, people forget about the process and the struggles that come with it.
Yeah. And like this, the name, the Human Inc. It's like a incorporation.
You actually came up with that name.
Yeah, Home Inc. was the inspiration, but at the same time, like, look, a company when it starts, it doesn't start booming. A company, like a physical company, like a corporation, it starts from the ground. Like, you have to, like, I think you were talking about that today. Like, you have to invest. You have to go take a leap back, and then put all the efforts first. Grow, and then you become this successful company.
Yeah.
And I think the mind works the same way. Yeah.
Sometimes you take 2 steps forward to take a leap, or 2 steps or back to take a giant leap forward. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that's an amazing name for the amazing things that we're gonna be doing, and also bringing people that will tell us their journey in their own personal life. So I think. I'm very looking forward for that.
Yeah, no, it's an exciting year, man. Getting this podcast off the ground. I know last year you were actually investing in doing like investor meetups for real estate. That was pretty cool, man. You're still doing that? Yeah, it's just a lot of cool things. Yeah. We're with a new company, working at Home Inc., and that's been great. Really, great people.
Great people.
I can't say enough about
service,
that.
Great product.
Yeah. I know it sounds biased, but it's the truth. And they really focus on investing in us and giving us the platforms to have an outlet to do cool things, man. So
and also meet great people as well. Like, and that's one of the main reasons also that we're doing this too.
Oh, speaking of that, dude, I met so many cool people last year. I met this, it was my neighbor, but like just being in South Florida or like being in real estate, you meet cool people. I met a guy who was like, I don't know where he was at on the roster, but he was a quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. And then he just got traded to my team on the Eagles. His name's Reed Sinnett or whatever. Dude, the guy was living next door to me.
Wow.
It's like crazy. Or like one of my neighbors too was like, not that I live in like this fancy place, I just live in a normal apartment, but one of my neighbors was a professional poker player. It's just like the opportunities out there to network, meet the right people, especially being in real estate, you have to talk to people.
Yeah, you have to.
It's just, man, what a time to be alive. Despite COVID.
Despite COVID. And yeah, like you said, like this industry have allowed us to meet people that are into self-development.
Yeah.
They want to be better, not because they're greedy or because they just want to domain the world. You're meeting people because they want to do better for their own families.
What about world domination? I want to dominate
world
the world.
domination.
World domination.
World or the universe. But they want to actually domain their own mind. Actually,
Okay.
they want to be able to have control of their outcome by doing the right exercise in their own personal life, so they can become better human beings, and at the same time be successful and empower others to do better as well. And yeah, and that's what we're bringing here. That's what we're bringing in this.
Yeah. I mean, things aren't always rainbows and gumdrops and stuff like that.
Exactly.
I mean, in life, sometimes you just don't feel like doing stuff. It's whatever your goals are. It's like right now it's January. I mean, gyms are probably packed right now. A lot of people, their New Year's resolutions to lose weight, but it's like a lot of people don't even want to do the work. I know I don't. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna lose like 15 pounds, and then when it comes to actually going to the gym, it's like, maybe tomorrow. And I feel like a lot of people have that feeling when it comes to starting a business, starting a podcast, starting real estate, whatever it is, whatever your endeavor is. It's like, I'll just do it tomorrow. And I was reading this article that was talking about, like, if you give yourself 30 days to do something, it'll take 30 days. If you give yourself a week to do something, it'll take a week. And so, being intentional and like living with that purpose, I really think has kind of propelled me in my life. I don't know if that's been your experience. I mean, how has it been for you in goals and like your own personal goals, professionally and personally? How have you like got over the hump, if you will?
Me personally, I'm lazy. so because I'm self-aware of that.
Yeah.
I have learned that in order for me to break that, I have to surround myself, not necessarily with people that are not lazy, but also that are also self-aware and that they want to do better. And because of that has forced me to put certain things that might be hacks, like little hacks. So, for example, you have accountability. Like 2 years ago, I paid for a mastermind, and on that mastermind, I was able to be held accountable with other people, so that I'm able to accomplish those goals. And for example,
before you go on, not to interrupt you, for those people out there who don't know what a mastermind is, what the heck is that?
Well, a mastermind is a group of people with common goals that they hold themselves accountable, and at the same time they bring themselves and put the same effort to accomplish similar or different goals, and you help each other with different ideas, and that could elevate you more.
So is it like a cult?
It's not a cult.
No, I'm joking. Because like, look, anytime like it's like an education thing for yourself, right? It's like,
yeah.
Oh, okay. No, because like most people, like when you try to do something different in your life, I'll give you an example. Let's say you're an accountant or whatever, and you want to start a business, right? Everybody in your life knows you as being like an accountant.
Yeah.
Right? And let's say you want to be a painter and you start painting, you're going to have naysayers in your life, right? Like in the beginning, people are going to like say things to you like, oh, is this really going to be worth it? Or, is this a good career move? Or like if you go to a mastermind, I'm sure some people are like, is it a cult? Is this a pyramid scheme? Is this right? Like all these things that people get negative.
I think those are like limiting, they're limiting, or you know what? Not limiting belief. I think it's more even like you sabotaging yourself.
Yeah.
Because you tell yourself like, oh, this could be a scam, or oh, this could be this, and whatever. And then by you just saying no, you're just blocking yourself to do something different that you're not doing. And if you want change, you have to change what you think.
You got to change from within.
Yeah.
You definitely have to change from. You know what though? I think obviously there are risks and there are things to be worried about. When you're taking a new endeavor, I mean, and sometimes some of your setbacks are painful. Yeah. Let's be honest. But I feel like if you go into it with like negativity, looking at it through that lens, you're gonna get a negative result. Yeah. I mean, there's just no option. It's like if you're just like, oh, like this is not going to work or whatever. I mean, well, if you're moping around, of course it's going to be that way. Like,
yeah, and that's one thing, and also I think Jim Rohn said that you are the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself the most.
Oh, okay, like a proximity thing.
Yeah,
I've
proximity.
seen stuff like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's good to be around people that have the things that you already know that you don't have, because it's contagious. Like, there's no way you are, let's say you're overweight and you hang out with a bunch of bodybuilders, and you hang out with them, like, I don't know, 24/7. There's no way you're gonna think of yourself, you know what, I need to drop some weight.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna start thinking about, like, how am I gonna cut my diet, or how am I gonna go to the gym? And that proximity is gonna force you to do better for yourself, even though you're not realizing that that's good for you.
Yeah.
So,
no, I think that's good. All good stuff. I mean, that's definitely the premise of this whole show. And I know you had a few talking points, George, you wanted to go over. But before we even do that, let's qualify a little bit. I just want to, it's like I want the listeners out there to know. It's like, who the heck is this Mike Severino guy? Who's George Munoz? A little bit of backstory about me, Mike Severino. I've been working in real estate professionally for the better part of a decade. Got experience. I've been a recognized top performer, and it wasn't easy. I kind of stumbled into sales when I first moved to Florida. Actually, my first job was like washing cars. I wasn't, and I would ask every person, like, with like nice cars, like, man, what do you do for work?
Mm-hmm.
And these guys would be like, oh, I got an investment property, or oh, I'm in real estate, and I'm like, dude, what's this with real estate? Like, fast forward, I sold cars for a little bit. That was like a totally not my thing, to be honest with you. Don't want to bash that industry, but it wasn't for me. And then I ended up selling like furniture with a really good company. And they taught me a lot about business and doing business the right way and taking care of clients. They're actually based out of South Florida. Not going to say their names. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of legalities with doing stuff like this, but great company to work for. And that's where I actually met the owner of the last company that I worked for, one of the main guys over there, and that's how I got my intro to real estate, man. And it like changed my life overnight. Yeah. I remember like just having that optimistic view of like, man, I can be financially free, and like all the guys at this company like had something that I wanted. Yeah. And I would just match in the mirror them, and I didn't know what the heck I was doing, man. To be honest with you, I had no idea. I used to call estoppel letters, which is like something for rentals and lease agreements, right? For people who don't know that. I used to call it stopple letters, or like, like I didn't know, or like, there's like a term, affidavit, right? In real estate, I thought it was called the Act of David, because I thought it was like like a legal system and like biblical stuff. I mean, that's how that just is a testament to like, you don't have to know exactly what you're doing in life. You just got to get out there and do it, man. And it's been good to me. I've been a 6-figure entrepreneur time and time again, consistently. And I'm in the process of becoming, like, one day I want to be a 7-figure entrepreneur. And why I want to do it, I think for me is because, like, in the beginning, right, like, you want a nice car, nice place, all those things. Like, none of that stuff makes you happy. Like, I want to be able to be a good servant in my community, right? Like, that altruistic side of things, like that, it makes you feel good as a person. I want to make sure I'm being a good leader in my job professionally. Want to be a good person in my family. And my dream, it sounds silly, is like one day, like, to have like my grandkid or great grandkid, if I survive that long, and be able to help them out, financially. So it's like my dreams go beyond myself, right? And Well, it's more than just like earning a decent living. Success for me, it's like you want to be good at what you're doing. You want to provide value to the people you're working with. It's not just about making a buck.
Yeah.
And I think early on, like when I was living hand to mouth and eating scoops of peanut butter to survive, like you daydream and you want all these nice things, and you realize that they're just things, man. Like a car is just a car. A pair of shoes is just a pair of shoes. It doesn't matter. But I think you need to if you want those things or you're aspiring to be that, you can have them. But I almost wish everybody just had them so they could realize they're just things and it doesn't even freaking matter. Just so we can all be kind humans to each other. I mean, the way I live my life today is like I just want to be effective and I want to inspire people. And, I just want to be a good servant. I think life's about relationships, and, that's what truly makes me happy nowadays. So enough about me. I mean, George, who are you? And tell me a little bit about your story.
Yeah, pretty quick. Well, I'm going to try to do it quick. I talk a lot, too. So I was, I kind of like grew up in between here in the United States and the Dominican Republic, on and off, until I decided to be fully here in the United States for 12 years ago. I decided to move here permanently by myself without the help of my parents. So I kind of like became independent. So at 25 or 24 years old. And so it's different in Latin America. You still see people at 30 years old living with their parents in Latin America. So it's great. It's different. It's a different culture. But whatever. The thing is that I grew up kind of like middle class, thinking that I was rich, but I wasn't. Because, long story, I'm not going to go there now. But the point is, I got here and I did things here that I will never thought I was gonna be doing. Like working on retail, having 3 jobs, and everything happened for a reason. I remember I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I'm pretty sure like the majority of you guys here in Munoz have heard of it or read that book. But that book did change my mind completely. So I started like looking for something. And then I kind of like completely changed my career. I became an Italian high-end kitchen cabinetry designer. Nice. So, but at the same time, as I was doing that, I was going to these amazing houses, beautiful houses, and working with architects and also investors. I'm like, man, I want to be on the other side too. Yeah. So I started reading more about real estate and I don't know, and then until I got a point that I felt like super miserable, and I kept, I don't know, for like an entire week, I kept hearing this phrase from Albert Einstein. The definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results. And I will wake up and I will think about it. I'm like, I have to do something different. And at that time, I knew this other company that it focused on real estate, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to do it. And I decided to burn all my books. My wife almost divorced me. Like literally, she actually told me, like, look, like I'm tired. Because I was in a journey while I was recently married. And for those of you hearing me, like, I will always advise, like, first be complete with yourself, and then find your couple, your loved one, and then get married, and then have family and all that stuff. But for me, it was a struggle for a lot of years because I was rediscovering myself while I was in a relationship. So it kind of like hurts that relationship because the other person doesn't understand, like, why the heck am I waiting for you? Like, you haven't discovered yourself, like, and I have to wait for that. So cool, it happened. My wife, amazing, she supported me, and then boom, I was able to realize, like, man, real estate is a great avenue, and through this avenue, I was able to meet amazing people that are still mentors, that I consider them my mentors actually, and help me grow, and I don't know, and I started growing, going to seminars, reading books, and I'm not there yet. I still want more, but it's a learning experience, and and I'm here to share everything that I know, and also learn from the people that we're going to invite here at this show.
Absolutely. I mean, I think I love the fact that you touched on that. Is like you're here to teach and also learn, and I think you have to have an air of humility about you in life if you want to keep growing. You know, either you're growing or you're dying. Really, I mean, it's not like you can't get to a place where you just coast in life because that's when stuff starts happening and life happens to you, right? Like you have to constantly. It sounds so cliche. It sounds so cheesy, but you have to like get at least 1% better each day, or try to do something new, or try to learn something, or whatever it is. And knowing that you don't know everything, and then also knowing that whatever you aspire to do, you can't do it alone.
You can't. No.
Like there's no way. You cannot do it alone. Like it takes a community. You look at some of the most successful people in any industry, whatever you aspire to be, anyone, for the listeners, for anybody, whatever you want to aspire to be, whatever you want to achieve, you can't do it by yourself.
Yeah, I think that reminded me of on a commencement speech of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
I think he said like, "There's
get out of here.
Get down.
Get to the chopper."
So he basically says that there's no such thing as self-made millionaire, and he goes like, "Oh, remember the time that you slept at your cousin's couch for 3 months, or remember the time that your mom lent you $300. Think about that. Those things mattered. Or remember my case. Or remember the time that my wife had to wait on me. I had to take 3 jobs while she was taking care of the kids. She needed help. All that stuff. Like you need to have that support around you, and you have to surround yourself with the right people, and always know that if you're the smarter person, if you're the smartest person, in the room, get out of there quickly. Why? Because you want to be surrounded by people that are more intelligent than you. Because I think that will give you a better perspective and a better understanding of life. And that's it.
Sorry, I know. I'm sorry, listeners. I know you heard that interruption. I was trying to record a TikTok. Trying to do the social medias, man.
Yeah, there's so much thing going on, man. There's so much things going on.
So many things going on. It's so many stuff.
I feel old.
Yeah,
we're young, but we feel old.
Dude, yeah, I'm like 32. You're
35.
35. It's like and I'm tired. I'm so sick. The only reason why I'm like doing the podcast, which it's like a labor of love, and the reason why I'm even attempting to try to have more of a social media presence, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. It's like I'm just so sick and tired of seeing like these quote unquote influencers talk about what I do professionally and giving people poor advice, man. It's like I get lumped into that category. And to be honest with you, it's polarizing. Yeah. Like some people don't even want to do business with me because they assume I'm like these douchebags that are standing in front of a rented car. Yeah. I hate it.
Yeah, actually today, that's funny. But today somebody reached out to me on another platform, and he was asking me about real estate. They want to do business, etc., etc. And cool. I'm talking to them. I'm advising them, and I tell him like, hey, it's good that you're asking questions. I just want to take my time. Don't get me wrong. Like, take your time to know me, and so that I can know you, so that we can do business together in the future. Because there's a lot of sharks out there that when they smell blood, like somebody like eager as you that want to do like real estate investing and have a little bit of money saved up, they smell blood and they want to eat you up. They're sharks. And then he replies, going with that note, he replies like, "Oh well, yeah, I know you're a shark too, but I think you're not an evil shark." so he still thinks that I'm trying to kind of like take advantage. But yeah, it's a sad thing, and but yeah, I mean, we just have to be in the lookout and try to make a smart decision of who we follow or who we not. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely. Sorry, George. Again, it's part of I guess trying to get better, 1% better. You don't want to be obsolete. It's like look what happened with Blockbuster. The people who used to rent videos. I remember going to Blockbuster and wanted to take out a movie and all that stuff, and look at Netflix now. Netflix has full on productions, and they started off by sending DVDs in the mail and all these things. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
So it's if you don't adapt and try to change. Look, I know I'm taking 2 steps back.
Even
right now.
physical money.
That is cryptocurrency and all that.
Devaluating. 6%.
I know there's going to be people that are like, oh, the podcast isn't as cool as mine, or it's not, you're not doing that good of it. I don't care. I'm doing it. That's it. Here I am. I'm doing it. Say whatever you want to say. I'm freaking doing it, because even if I'm taking 2 steps back, I'm going to take a giant leap forward.
Yeah.
In spite of that. And I get pumped up about it. You know why? Because it's people are going to say stuff regardless.
Yeah.
Regardless, man. So it's I welcome it. And I mean, this is cool. You wanted to kind of talk about certain things.
So one of the things that we want to basically do, we want to invite people that have gone through ups and downs, struggles, successes, and we want to touch more on their own personal life.
Okay.
And because we're surrounded by investors, real estate investors, probably the majority of them are going to be successful real estate investors here from Florida, and maybe from different states as well,
or different industries.
So so we're gonna be more focused on the human aspect, and one of the things that we want to bring here is we're still kind of brainstorming, but we want to dig deep on the 7 whys. Probably you guys have heard it in, I think Dean Graziosi has it in one of his books, and I think Tony Robbins, he talks about that once in a while, and it's the 7 whys, and then we have a segment that we can touch on that, and we go deep in their own personal whys of why they do what they do and why they do it and are so successful.
Yeah, it's definitely something to look forward to. So, look forward for that. We'll definitely, bring some cool people on the show, and I'm excited, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And then two little points. So, those are giveaways for you guys so that you can, go out and buy whatever you want to buy. If they suggest a book or a person that they follow, etc., etc. So I want to have a little segment that they tell you who was that person for them that helped them break through with their own breakthrough. Everybody goes through that point that I can't take it anymore. Enough is enough. Let me just go and burn my boats and go to my island and conquer it. So everybody has that path in their life, and the other thing is what would be the best book to recommend for that. And I think if we touch those 2 points, that will be something of value for anyone. Because I personally, when I do hear a podcast and I see someone recommending a book, the first thing I do is either Audible or Blinkist, or I buy the book. And
nice.
That's what I do. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week. Look forward to it. Human Inc. Here it is.
Human Inc.
All right, George. Well, I appreciate your time, man. And
boom shakalaka.
Talk to the listeners next week. Have a good one, guys.